Hart fans, welcome to the 2024-25 Hart Men's Basketball Media Day. I'm your host and Hart correspondent, Rich Linden, traveling to Iowa right now, kicking in with Graceland University head coach Todd Lawrenson and Jai Smith. Coach Jai, how you rolling? How's Iowa today?
It's great. It's nice and beautiful outside today.
We're trying to soak up these last warm weather days that we have here in Southern Iowa. We've had a beautiful couple of days. Campus is vibrant. Got a good thing going with fall football, so life is good here in Lamoni.
I love it. All right, coach, I'm going to start with you. Year one, last year as head coach of the Yellow Jackets was highly successful. 21 wins, finishing third in the Hart standings. That's not supposed to happen, coach. Not supposed to step in your first year and put the hammer down. So tell me about last year. How much fun was it to enjoy the season and watching your players build and grow?
Yeah, it was a great year. It was the first time that I've been fortunate enough to take over a program that I'd already been associated with. So having the prior year as an assistant coach to know the landscape of, just the nuances of the community, the institution, campus, all those things were a huge benefit for us in year one. So kind of a slightly different setup than your standard takeover. We knew some of the guys we already had in house. They were familiar with myself. I was familiar with them. So it really allowed us to hit the ground running. A couple other things that kind of go under the radar that were a huge benefit to us was Matt Colston, who was on staff the prior 2 years, had already been with me the year before. So we had a lot of continuity as a staff. And then Matt Dickman, who came in as our assistant coach, I had worked with 2 prior years at a different institution. So those things allowed us to really hit the ground running. We had great young men in our program that gave us an opportunity to compete day in and day out, and unfortunately had a nice season.
Well, talking about great men in the program, why don't you introduce us to your student athlete and tell us what he means to the team?
Yeah, so we've got with us today Jai Smith. He is a redshirt senior from Pontiac, Michigan, been in the program for 4 years. He's everything that we talk about and what you want in a student athlete. He's a great student. He's a great ambassador on campus, being involved in multiple areas from being a RA on campus. He's the president of our Black Student Union leadership program on the campus. And like I said, he takes care of business on and off the court. He's an unbelievable leader. One thing we've always talked about, Jai has been able to impact our program at a high level, even when he wasn't maybe getting the great minutes at certain times. Last year, he had some injuries that kept him off the court. And then when he is on the court, he brings great value to our team as well.
So, Jai, tell me about the upcoming season. What are you excited about? What are you looking forward to most? And some of your goals that you and your teammates are looking at.
I'm gonna start with our goals. So we all have the same goal of just winning. We have one team goal is just win, enjoy each day. Most of the team is our last year together. So we want to go out with a bang and make history. One thing that I'm excited for is just the competitive environment. Each day at practice is competitive. Everybody wants to get better. Everybody wants to win. So I love the competitive environment.
How many seniors are on the team this year?
It depends on, we got some guys who have another year of eligibility, whether it be still
Okay.
from the COVID years or they've used a red shirt. So it's kind of hit and miss, but right around that number of seven would
Okay.
be a fair number to use.
A lot of upperclassmen, a lot of experience there.
Yes, a lot of maturity.
Yeah. So tell me about that. Do you guys hang out off the court when you're not practicing, grinding, weight room, playing games? What are some things you do to bond and create that culture of family?
One thing we do is play 2K together. A lot of teammates come together, play 2K. It gets real competitive. Everybody thinks they're the best. I'm not the best 2K player, so like I'm just there just to enjoy the vibes, but that's one thing we do.
So how do you maintain this with the young players? You've got this vibe with the older guys, and you played, you bang it together and friends, but you got new transfers and you have new freshmen coming in. How do you bring them into the fold, and how do you teach them that leadership and that champion of character and the mentality that is Yellow Jackets basketball?
I really just tell them to embrace everything, embrace the hard times, the good times, and enjoy the process. Because I came in as a freshman, it was hard. I'm gonna be honest with you. I some days it was just a struggle, but I stuck with it, understood. I had great upperclassmen to build me up, build my confidence, and just show them that college basketball is what you make of it and what you put into it.
Coach, I'm gonna flip it back to you. Second year head coach, but you've coached for a long time. Tell me a little bit about the coaches in your life Like, what did they mean to you? How did they help you grow as a man and as a coach? And how's that affected what you're doing now at Graceland?
Yeah, great question. First and foremost, I grew up in a household where my father was a coach. He was a high school teacher and coach in Iowa for over 40 years, just going into his second year not coaching. So I've known no different my entire life. And I got to see not only the impact that he had on his players, but also his students. And as we had some of those retirement parties in the last 18 months, it really re-emphasized to me that they won a lot of basketball games, but when those guys and gals came back to honor his retirement, it wasn't about the wins and losses. It was about the mentorship, the leadership, and all the positive things that are part of athletics, but aren't directly tied to success. Just in athletics, it carries on to life as well. And then at the collegiate level, I've worked for multiple guys that have really helped me grow as a coach and a person. They each have their own way about doing things. So to be a young coach and get to learn from very successful coaches at the Division I, Division II, and NAI level, I think really expedited my ability to lead a program on my own. I'm fortunate to be doing that here at Graceland University.
Awesome. Great success last year. So what's it going to take? What does your team and this team need to do to build on that and take it even farther this year?
Yeah, so you're seeing a lot of former junior college coaches having success at the 4-year level. And I think my 4 years at the community college level has really benefited me in this era of college athletics where, we've got 19 guys in our varsity roster. 3 of those are going to be red shirts, but if you make up that entire 19, we have 8 returning players, 4 of which had a significant role on the court last year, and then 11 transfers. And so anytime that you have to blend that many new faces and personalities together in a short amount of time, it creates challenges. And it's not our players' fault. It's not our coaching staff's fault. It's just a reality of what athletics are in 2024. So we're embracing that. We're trying to really grow together in a short amount of time. And I think from a baseline talent level, we've put ourselves in a position, if we're willing to give up a little bit of ourselves as individuals for the betterment of the team, we have an opportunity to do some really fun things that we'd share with our guys. We had Jeremy Deemer, who was a part of the 2018 National Championship team on campus for homecoming a few weeks back. And what
Nice.
he emphasized when he comes back to campus, people don't necessarily say, "Hey, you were Jeremy Deemer, the starting 5-man who was on the all tournament team." The first thing they say was, "You were part of that national championship team." And that's what we emphasize to our players. When it's 10, 15, 20 years down the road, people aren't really going to care if you were the leading scorer, if you were first team all league. They're going to want to know, were you part of that championship level program and team? And that's what we're really telling to our guys. And so far, I feel like they're buying it, but time will tell.
I announced that game, man. It was incredible. It was incredible. So, Jai, tell me about game day. Where season's almost here already, which is nuts to me. What does game day look like? What does your team do? What do you do? Do you have any guys on the team that are superstitious or they want to follow their own tradition, their own rituals? What's it look like?
Starting with the team, the locker room environment, we have a lot of music, a lot of energy, just having great vibes. No one's sad, no one's anxious, just making sure everybody's loose, ready for the game day. Me personally, before I get to the locker room, I gotta calm my nerves, make sure I understand the game plan, understand what I have to execute, make sure I'm being a leader, holding myself responsible and composed, and then everything will fall into line.
Man, and it has to too, coach. The Hart Conference, I believe, is one of the hardest conferences, top to bottom. You can't let the gas off at any day, man. Someone can and will beat you. How do you prepare for that? And what do you do to keep this team focused, the balance between being focused and loose through that long grind of a season in a really tough conference?
Yeah, first off, Rich, I'm offended that the players haven't asked for my playlist yet for those pregame rituals. Maybe someday that'll happen, but I'm not going to hold my breath. But to your direct question, it's a marathon of a season, and you really have to try to avoid letting the highs be too high and the lows be too lows, because in a given week of conference basketball, that game ends on Wednesday night at approximately 9 p.m. and it's a quick turnaround until Saturday's game at 4 p.m. Some days you're going to be on the road and have a 2-3 hour bus ride. So we really have to, I know it's a cliche and coaches do it all the time, but we have to stick to the process. Whether things have gone great the night before, maybe haven't gone as well the night before, we have to come back to the office on Thursdays and be ready to practice and parlay that into Fridays and ultimately Saturdays. So The league is tremendous. You know that, having been around it. Anybody who's seen us from afar understands that. And 24 league games is no joke. So if you can, like I said, avoid the highs and the lows and just stay really steady, that's going to give you an opportunity each night out to be successful in this league.
Well, I'm super excited to see what's going to happen this year. I know my Graceland fans, Yellow Jacket Nation, they're pumped up. They're ready to go. Thanks for coming on today, man. Taking the time to talk a little basketball. I can't wait to see you on the court, man. Let's go.
Well, we appreciate you having us. We look forward to seeing you as well. Have a great day, guys.
Thanks, guys.